What's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing awesome. So, sorry about the mic quality. I think I'm having some trouble with my laptop, some audio issues, so might need a new laptop. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are able to make do. So, let's get started. So, we're going to be breaking out a 250% swing play that we just did last week. So, I tried to tell everyone in the fam for the past week to get into Binamon. I mean, not financial advice. However, it was a very high alpha play. So, we're going to dive deep into how we got this play. But before we get into that, just realize that this is all speculation. Don't invest more than what you can lose. Assume that you will lose everything and you won't get rich quick. There's also a very high chance I probably just got lucky and all this is just BS, right? So let's get into how the play happened. So what happened with Binamon? So first off, the overall market crash, right, with all the FUD from the Evergarden, from the US regulations, etc. Then BMON, which is the token for Binamon, crashed to around 0.14. So this is where I started looking at it as its peak was around 0.7, I believe. So I looked into it and I noticed that there was a lot of big catalysts incoming despite the crash. So this is what you really want, right? You want undervalued plays with positive catalysts incoming. These catalysts include Pancake Swap, so this very big listing. They'll have a lot of advertisement for this and other exchanges that they said were unknown at the time. And Android release, which will bring a new wave of people as this game is very scholarship friendly, encompassing PvP and lots of other features, right? So during this dead silence period, so this is where there's less trading volume. There's people flooding the chat saying, "Oh, I want my refund and stuff." This was the exact time I did my research, and it's usually the perfect time to dive deep into a game that may be great fundamentally, but they took a big dip. So it's also on my YouTube channel. You can check it out where I dive super deep into the fundamentals. So feel free to check it out there. Furthermore, I discovered that BMON had like a burning mechanism of BMON. So whenever there is a bunch of BMON getting bought up, BMON will inherently become more expensive over time. So I thought if after this dip, a bunch of people, a bunch of whales start buying dip and it starts shooting up fast, a bunch of BMON will burn, which will cause an even bigger squeeze upward. So this was the perfect opportunity. So I swept up some BMON and some Z1 monsters. So a week later, after the pancake swap listing, it shot up to 0.35. So I sold a third of my position. And then a few days later after that, I was actually planning to sell around the Android release, as they said that the Android release was going to be this week. However, they delayed it to the following week. However, this is the importance of setting price alerts, right? So I set a price alert around the resistance level around 0.35 if I ever hit it again. And for some reason, it went off in the morning and I checked it. Turns out they listed Binamon on KuCoin, which is a top 10 exchange. So after it squeezed up to 0.38, I sold the full position after, and my net profit was on 250% for this play right here, which I'll reinvest into Axie Infinity, other games like Crypto Blade Skill, which is at a big discount right now, and other projects I'm looking into, like FLC for Defina and Monsters Clan. All right, so that's exactly what happened. So, more importantly, how do we find the next big flip? Something like this, right? So, let's get into the first point. So, try one of these. Either get in super early, so before the public gets into it. This way, you have a really good discount on the token. So you can use like gaming launch pads where you stake a certain amount. CDFI is the cheapest I've seen so far that has a guaranteed allocation, and that's not so cheap. It's like $3,000, but these tokens tend to 50 to 100x, so that's pretty solid. So if you're able to KYC on these, this is solid. So I personally can't, so I just have to wait for any big dips, but hopefully in the future they allow that. I know Defina, they did a workaround on this where if you get an NFT, you get airdropped tokens. So I hope many more games do this in the future as that will invite US people too. So that's the second. That's so first one, get in super early. before public launch. Second one is get into a fundamentally strong project. So this is where you do your own research, where you super dive deep. If you want a template, feel free to check out my Binamon deep dive template, where you can literally copy and paste the questions onto any game you want and then do research for that game. So you wait until there's a major dip, which I'll show the charts for Axie Infinity right now. So what do the majority of people do? You see these areas right here at the X's. Do not buy on those. However, literally 90% of people will buy on that. So they wait until price gaps up a lot, then they're, oh, I think it's going to go up even more. However, that's exactly when the whales dump on you, right? So you see they sell it off, then they freak out, they sell it, which causes it to cascade even more. So when you see something abnormal like this, where there's a major dip that breaks the pattern, that's assuming that the fundamentals are still the same. That's exactly when you want to buy. So that's when I personally bought that. Then third, get into undervalued projects compared to their peers, right? So let's say there's an industry leader. Let's let's use the Axie Infinity example. Maybe there's a similar game like it, which was like Binamon. So they have both Pokemon like NFT games. So the market cap of Axie Infinity was around 4 billion, I believe, while Binamon was around like 20, 30 million. That's like what, like a 24, like a 200 times less market cap. That's way less. That's way undervalued, right? Combined with their big catalyst coming up, that just created a perfect recipe to scoop up the dip. And then once people look at Binamon, they're like, oh, Axie Infinity. They see the scholarship system called the Binary Trainers, Binary Masters, and they're, oh, this is just like Axie Infinity. This is great. So they get into the game master, able to understand it due to understanding the industry leader. Secondly, make sure there are big catalysts incoming, right? So this could be like a new platform release where they release it on mobile when they're typically PC, new game features, new game modes, collaborations, big investments by venture capitalists, shilling events like Ask Me Anything's listings on big exchanges, etc. So you want to do the opposite, right? So most people, once they hear the news, then they buy it. However, you want to do the opposite where you do the research beforehand, you scoop it up on a dip, and then you sell the news. So once it gaps up a lot, then you sell. So you can do the same thing. Maybe if it's your first time hearing about it through the news, so maybe you hear about the coin through an Ask Me Anything, it shoots up like 200, 300%. Do not buy it. Wait maybe several weeks, even months, if you really love the project, and then there will be a dip in the future. So that's exactly when you scoop it up. And another key point, if there's a major catalyst incoming and no one's reacting, or less YouTube videos are being made, more people flooding, that is the exact perfect time to buy the dip. So most people do the opposite, right? They wait for their favorite YouTuber, crypto Twitter person to talk about the project first, then they buy it after it pumps up like 10x or something, right? So what you want to do is, here's a little cheat code. You can check who these influencers are following on Twitter and stuff, and then you scroll through the list, you check any games that they're looking at, and then maybe they didn't talk about them yet. That's exactly when they scoop up dip. So you scoop up the dip with them, and then after they eventually pump it, maybe a month or two later, that's when you sell the pump with them too. Right. Third point. So check if prices are near strong multi-tested supports. So more tests, the better. So we have the example of Binamon here. We have that big support around 0.14. Look how it formed like a little W pattern, a double bottom, in which it will probably go up. So you don't want to buy it when it's like clearly going down on a downtrend where it's like lower lows, then lower highs too. You want to wait until it kind of fizzles out and then it doesn't go any lower. And that's exactly when you want to buy in, right? Then we talked about the market cap relative to peers before, and also lower price is usually psychologically better for people to buy in as opposed to a higher price. So maybe 50 cents at a $50 million market cap may be better than $100 at 40 million market cap just because people are willing to buy it more. However, it all depends. Point four, it's to have price alerts set up at key levels. So most people, 95% people, they just look on the charts, they randomly check it throughout the day. However, you want to be a lot more methodical about this, right? So maybe at a certain time of the day, check if no price alerts went up, but at the majority of the time, set price alerts at certain points. So let's say maybe a key support's around 0.1 and a key resistance is around 0.3. You set price alerts there just in case they ever hit one of those points. And then the rest of the day, you just don't check it. So this way, you'll be better psychologically as you won't be emotionally attached to the screens. And then if it dips hard, assuming that the fundamentals still stay the same, let's say a big whale just sells off for no reason, or they go in a stop loss trade, you're able to swoop up on a dip. Vice versa, if it shoots up, let's say maybe there's like a random listing or an influencer just shills the project, you're able to sell part of your profits, and then maybe it dips again, then you rebuy back into the dip, then you rinse and repeat. Right, last point, it is to scale in and out slowly. So there'll be conflicting information. It's not all in or all out type of thing, especially in crypto. So try to figure out what works for you according to your risk tolerance, right? So let's say you're already in a position, right? There's random good news. It jumps up a little bit. However, there may be more good news later. You could just sell a third of your position at this small gap up. Then if it continues going up, you can sell later. But maybe if it dips down, you can use your profits to invest even more. Or vice versa, maybe the fundamentals in a project changes. So maybe you could take away some profit, but you want some exposure in the position. So you keep maybe half or 2/3 of your position as opposed to just selling it all at once. So who knows, maybe the fundamentals change, but then like an hour or two later, they announce, oh, we actually got it wrong. The fundamentals didn't change, something like that usually happens, especially in crypto gaming. So by scaling in and out slowly, by checking the daily, weekly charts as opposed to just the minutes and hourly, you'll be able to see the long-term picture to make the best plays possible. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. Hope you were able to learn something from it. So feel free to leave a like, comment what other tips you guys recommend to make the best plays possible, what other videos and video games you want to see, and feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this. And here are other ways to support the channel, which will also be in the caption too, where you can support the channel. You get different benefits monthly, like early access to the guide, a video paragraph summary of the videos, other trading opportunities in real time, and there's the address below, and there's my business email if you want to contact about advertisements or you want me to check out certain games, beta and stuff, Twitter for faster updates. So I literally posted about Binamon like 3 times the past week for people to, I mean, not financial advice, but to scoop up. And Discord link below. I also post any certain giveaways or certain things like Tom Bilyeu from Impact Theory had a POAP, which may give you a whitelisting for one of his future NFTs, which will be a very exclusive drop. So I posted that, and that was only open for like 20 minutes. So if you're in the Discord, you'll have access to things like that, where I'll just post something in real time. Brokers I personally use, like Binance US, Coinbase, Webull, M1 Finance, TradingView for my favorite charting software, and most importantly, these videos are for entertainment purposes and are not recommendations, as I'm not a licensed professional. The best investments are the ones where you have the greatest conviction in doing your own research, right? The name and the game in crypto is to survive for a long period of time, as crypto is a very growing and booming industry. The longer you survive, the less liquidations you have, the less blow ups on your accounts you have, the more chance you give yourself to succeed. So hope you guys enjoyed the video and talk to y'all next time.